Hello, welcome. Hello, Sib. Sib's come to join us. Hello, welcome back to Longman Tarot. Lovely to see you here. It's great to be back. Hi. Friendly cat, welcome there. Apologies, they have just started a firework display, literally at 7 o'clock. So if you hear some loud bangs, that's what's happening. Anyway, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. It's Richie, Longman Tarot. Very pleased to be back. It's been 2 weeks of absence, and we're going to talk about all what's been happening in a little while. But lovely to spend some time with you here. So I thought we'd do a catch up. We're not doing readings tonight. It's just chat. I've got some decks that have come into my collection recently that I want to show you. There's 3 decks. I'm going to just quickly show some of the cards. I'm not going to do a full walkthrough of each one. That will probably be coming over the Christmas period, because Christmas really isn't that far away, is it? I'm really not that prepared for it. You probably noticed completely lacking decorations to speak of there. So yeah, so that will be remedied this weekend. Are you going to sit down there? Okay. There's a cushion there if you want to sit there. Okay. Let's say hello to some lovely people. Sandra, I saw you were the first one here. I did say hello. But of course, hi, Sandra. Thank you for being here. I hope you are well, my dear. And I'm glad I wore my shirt, especially Deanne is here. I have my plaid on for you there, Deanne. I hope you and the family are well. Fox with the book, hello to you. Welcome. And Jen, hello to you, my lovely. So good to see you. I hope you are well. Kathy is here as well. Hello, Kathy. Welcome. I know, Sybil. We'll talk about some sad things in a moment. I do warn you, but we have to talk about it. So there we go. Hello, Ellie. Good to see you. I'm sorry I haven't spoken to you for a long time. I hope you are doing okay, my lovely. Hopefully we can catch up very, very soon when things have calmed down a little bit my end. And we got nearer to Christmas. I love that. Jen of many names. But as I know her, Mukite Jen. Welcome. Oh, Sybil is so lovely. And Sandra, when you were here, oh my goodness, that was this year, wasn't it? God, it seems like I know you and her got on really, really well. She did hop right up, I know. Thank you to everybody that's joined us. I can see there's many more people watching, so thank you for that. If you're just watching or watching on playback, you're very welcome here. Thank you for being here. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Richie. Tarot is my thing, oracle cards, all that kind of stuff. And every Friday is when I tend to do my lives. So welcome. Firstly, I'm just going to say anybody that is in the UK know that there's some really severe weather coming in. We've got a red weather warning, which doesn't happen that often, I don't think, for parts of Wales and the southwest, so the Bristol Channel, including a lot of people, friends of mine that live around that, particularly Glastonbury, that area. So please, I hope everybody is okay tonight. That's when the worst of the weather, I believe, is going to kick in. So I do wish everybody safe and hopefully not too much damage done this weekend to you. So do take care. If you would like to ask any questions, because I haven't done a question and answer kind of session for a little while, so please feel free to pop your questions in and I'll do my best to actually answer them. Can you hear those fireworks? They're really loud. There's just up the road where the town hall is, well, 2 minutes walk from here, they've got a big Christmas, the streets are closed and they've got a big Christmas market going on there, which opened at 7 o'clock, which is why the fireworks are kicking off. So yeah, and just to remind me that I still haven't done half the shopping or prepared at all, but never mind. I hope everyone's well. I hope you've got a drink and settle back. So I'm going to do a bit of a catch up on, there's 3 things that have mainly happened in the last 2 weeks. And the first one is the really sad one. And I'm sure most of you are very well. I'm going to try and get through this without crying. I'm sure most of you are aware that unfortunately, just under 2 weeks ago, we had to say goodbye to our beautiful cat Basil. who I know was a lot of friends and people loved him. He used to come on a Friday night and sit on the cushion where Sybil is now. And he used to join in with the lives, and he used to try and jump up, and he liked to be the star of the show on many occasions. He went downhill quite quickly. We went to the vets and they thought he would just need some antibiotics, but unfortunately it was a bit more advanced than that, and he was in the vets for just under a week. And then we thought he was getting better, and then we got told that he wasn't. And so we had to do that really awful decision that I know lots of people have had to make, which is to put him to sleep. And it's been really hard. Peter and I have found it really hard. But we were there with him because I'm a great believer in you should try and be with your pet to the very moment, if that is the case. He went very peacefully. He looked like he was asleep. And so we're just getting used to adjusting, because the grieving process is all about not getting over it. It's just adjusting to it. So we're making sure that Sybil's looked after. She's, as you can see, she's changed a little bit. She and Basil never particularly got on. They just kind of used to stare each other out across the room. They never really cuddled up to one another. They just kind of tolerated each other. However, now that he's gone, she has really changed her character. She's much more vocal. She wakes us up in the morning to be fed. She doesn't like being on her own very much at the moment. She's really missing him. And so we're making sure she's getting lots of love and attention. Yeah. So, and helping her just to settle back into the new way of life there. You'll probably notice we've still got things like the cat trees around and some of his toys around. I'm not one of those people to remove everything as soon as something happens like that. But we will slowly clear stuff away. Our Christmas tree is going to be going there, so perhaps it's time to move his cat tree away and get rid of that this weekend. And Christmas is going to be difficult because he was always there playing with all the baubles and wanting to sit under the tree and be part of it all. So it is going to be super difficult. But we do these things, don't we? And I always say, it's hard. It's really hard. And the reason it's hard is because we love him so much, and we'll continue to do so. So that's where we are at the moment. And so I don't want to dwell too much on that, but I just want to say, in fact, Peter and I would just like to say thank you to everybody who has sent us some really kind messages and phoned us and had conversations with us about Basil, because they know how much of a special boy he was and how loved he was. And so we really appreciate it. It's really helped us get through this difficult couple of weeks. So thank you to everyone. And one of the joys of YouTube is we still got videos with him in it. I've still got somewhere I was doing face down walkthroughs and he'd just suddenly jump up and hit the microphone and, do his usual silly stuff. So I still got those, which is nice, which is really nice. And we can look back on those when we feel the time is right for it. So yes. So, I'm just going to catch up with some chats. We're going to look at a deck in a moment. Oh, thank you, Elspeth. Yeah, it was really, really sad. But everyone's been so kind. It was too sad about to even leave a comment. Oh, bless you. I know, Sandra, you particularly fell in love with Basil when you saw him, when you met him, didn't he? Once seen, never forgotten, our boy. But again, we will be bringing him home when his ashes are ready, and he'll still be with us in his own silly way. So there we go. He did have a wonderful life, and that is something. He was a rescue cat. We got him when he was only a few months old. He got hit by a car out, and nobody claimed him. So he was taken to our local vet where my friend Pip was working, and we just lost our old cat which we'd had for 25 years. He was 25 years old. Mr. Hobo, he was called. And I'd gone, no more cats. That's it. I'm not doing it. And then Pip went, oh, we've got this really cute black fluffy cat come in. Would you like to come see him? Like, no, don't want to see him. Oh, come on. He's lovely. So, okay, I'll come along and see him. And the first photos, I picked him up and he literally, I might have even been wearing this shirt, and he literally fitted into my arms cradled like that. Yeah, and we fell in love with him. And then Pip, who anyone's ever met my friend Pip knows, she does a very good job on selling or making sure animals are rehomed. She said, and we've also got this black and white one as well. Do you fancy taking this one home? And so Sybil came home as well on the same day. So we got the both of them together. So they've always been together. So that's why she's feeling, I think, quite sad and quite unsettled by it all, really. So she is a very pretty girl and she knows it. Oh, thank you everyone for your really kind thoughts. Thank you. It's been really, really difficult, but you know, we have pets, knowing that as much as we love them, one day this is going to happen and we have to kind of prepare ourselves for it. And it doesn't matter if it's a few years, many years, or a long time. It's always hard, isn't it? So yeah, we've always got the videos and lots of photos, and yeah, there's some stuff on Facebook if anybody wants to have a look. But yeah, so that's the sad bit, and thank you, as I said, to everybody who has helped us get through that there. So thank you for all your lovely comments. I'm not going to read them all out now. I'm going to go back and have a look at them a little bit later. So that was basically one of the reasons why I didn't do the first Friday. We knew he wasn't well and also had quite a busy weekend on at that time. I didn't realize how it was going to pan out. And so I didn't do a live then. And then I didn't do one last week, and I'll tell you why. But before we do that, should we have a look at my latest lovely deck? You know how I always say, I think I found the perfect deck. I think I found my perfect deck. It's a deck that I have been wanting for absolute ages. I'm just going to get rid of that for the moment. And I was so lucky to have actually found it on eBay as a second-hand copy, practically unused, at a price which probably wasn't too far off the original price for it, but it meant that I didn't have to pay excessive amount of postage to get it shipped over from another country with lots of tariffs. Is anyone going to have a little guess? Is anyone going to have a guess at what deck I have been banging on about for such a long time? It's been on my wish list for so long. I'm going to give you a chance if you want to play a silly little game. You can have a guess at what deck you think it is. Hello, my lovely Gerald. So good to see you here. I hope you're doing well. And hello, Trisha. Hello, everyone else that's joined us. And thank you again for all your wonderful comments. I will go back and read them again. Really kind of you. And hello to anyone that's joined us. So, right, Sandra is kicking off with the Greenwood. No, my friend. No. I'll give you a clue. Or will that give it away? If I say my clue, it's going to give it away. Okay. It's not Dark Mansion. How about that one? Gerald is lurking, drive lurking, drurking. Is that right? I don't know. Drive lurking. Take care on the roads, my friends. Everyone's saying hello to you, Gerald. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll read out any lovely comments there. So, oh, there we go. Slap bang. Here it is. I've been after this deck since it was published, and I really, really resented paying the money to have it shipped over. So this is the smaller version of it. It was about £60 I got it for on eBay. But having said that, I have actually just sold quite a few decks on eBay, and I plan to sell a load more, actually, now that it's free eBay advertising and selling. So watch this space if you fancy grabbing some bargains. I've got rid of my... What have I got rid of so far? The Labyrinth Tarot. the Edgar Allan Poe tarot went as well. So I had a bit of a clear out and go, I don't use these ones. Let's get rid of them. So I've sold some, and I've kind of got a small version of something that I love. I don't know if anyone else has this deck, but it is beautiful, and it's really got a lovely, lovely wintry vibe. The Slavic tarot. It comes in this gorgeous box. Let's just get rid of that card for a moment. I'm not going to show you all of them because there's probably loads of flip throughs of this, but it looks like a little book. I don't know if you can see it. It's got even got like a ridge in it, so it's really well thought out. It doesn't come with a guidebook because you can download it. That was my worry because there were quite a few counterfeit copies of this, but it just comes, if it's a fake deck, it's obviously got a QR code and it comes in a tuck box. Sorry, Deanne, tuck box rage, but this one was pucker because it's the proper box, and let's be honest, no one's going to fake that, are they? No one's going to be bothered if you're going to do a counterfeit deck to do something as lovely as that. So these are the backs. It's the blue and grey ones. The cardstock is gorgeous. I just want to stroke it. Rose petal, moleskin. Oh, love it. So let's have a look at some cards. So it's based all on the Slavic legends, but for me, it's got this really gorgeous wintry vibe. And I don't know why it's got a wintry vibe, but for me, Slavic legends, it's about cold nights, snow, cottages, pine forests, wintry kind of food, all that wonderful thing. So I think this is going to be the perfect deck to use in the darker half of the year. And I really prefer this to some of the Norse decks that I've got. It's obviously RWS style. I hope the camera's picking this up all right. I'm trying to get it on the right setting there. Slavic. I have to say, I didn't put the Major Arcana in order. So I'm really sorry if that upsets anybody. Oh, look at that one. It's gorgeous. This is interesting. There's some images in here that I feel really drawn to at the moment, and the Death card is one of them because of the Mary Lloyd skull on it. And on my Facebook feed at the moment, there's loads of people that have been sort of dressing up and decorating horse skulls and dancing around. More of that later. But yeah, absolutely love it. Hello, Country Love. Good to see you here. It is a beautiful winter deck. Yeah. Sandra, do you not have this one? I thought you had this one. It was one of those ones where I always, in fact, when I went to Poland in the summer, because it is actually printed in Poland and then distributed, I believe, around the world, I actually emailed them and went, look, I'm in Poland. You know, is there any chance you could send the deck to where I'm staying in Poland? Because then I wouldn't have to pay huge amounts of postage. And they were like, no, because it's the same postage wherever you are in the world. It was like, oh, okay, thanks for being so helpful. And so it just, oh my goodness, the Temperance card is beautiful. I just love the black dark backgrounds that go with this. I think that's what makes it. Yeah, so I thought, okay, I'm not gonna, it will come when it's ready. I'm a great believer in waiting for a deck. If you're interested, it will eventually come your way, and this one certainly did. It was there on eBay, the time that I was eBaying all my stuff. This death card is, sorry, the devil card is magnificent. And I like that the illustrations, obviously the same people that did Dark Mansion, but it's not quite so cartoony. It's not so horror driven like that one there. You know how the other one's a bit Tim Burton. Oh, look at this Judgment card. I haven't actually had a good look through. What happened is this deck turned up just at the same time that we were dealing with Basil. And so I just put it to one side. I thought, I don't want to be opening up this deck that I know I am going to love, and at a time that I'm going to associate it with, you know, negative things. So I left it for a little while, and I haven't actually had a good look through since. I was planning to this weekend. Oh, beautiful. Jen says, I don't think I've heard of the Slavic Legends Tarot. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. The cardstock's amazing. The printing is, the colours are just fantastic. I'm actually quite pleased that the camera seems to be doing a good job of picking it up tonight. What was interesting, I was opening this deck whilst looking at listening to a shamanic journey circle that was playing. I wasn't actually doing it, but I was listening to it, and they were talking about doing a shamanic journey with Bear. And actually, this was the last card that was in the deck of the hibernation. So you can see what I mean by it being that beautiful winter deck. Of course, I do love the Broken Mirror. Of course, I do love the Tarot of Oneness. Of course, I do love all my favorites. But I think I can probably get rid of a few of these now. Get rid of some of the ones that I just don't gel with anymore. I'm going to end up flicking through the lot, aren't I? So there we go. I won't. If there's any particular cards you would like to see. Oh, there's another Mary Lloyd skull there. I always think of these kind of wintry tales and Baba Yaga and all that kind of wonderful kind of mythology, which I don't know a great deal about. So I do need to spend some time doing some reading on it. But the court cards are gorgeous too. And all the people are very pretty on there. And quite severe looking, which is quite nice. I quite like some sensible court cards sometimes. I'm going to skip a few. Look at the Three of Cups. It's in really good nick. It really was well sold. And I did, as I say, if you are interested in this deck and it does come up on eBay, please do be really careful, because there are loads of counterfeit copies, and it really won't do it justice if you're going to end up with one of those, because the detail on the illustrations are amazing. Okay, what have we got? Oh, the Page of Cups is lovely. Really tranquil, really cute. Oh, the Queen. Love all the head pieces. Beth, I'm really sorry. Yeah, we had to have him put down just under 2 weeks ago. He got very ill all of a sudden, and as much as he was in the vets for a long time, he just wasn't getting better. So we had to make that really awful decision. So we're still getting over it, but Sybil's here. And as I said at the beginning of the show, she's adapting. She's trying to do her best to adapt. 5 of Wands, look at that. But thank you. Hi, Beth. Anyway, hi, Debbie. And hello, anyone else that's coming in. Sorry, I've been looking at these and I've been neglecting my duties of scrolling through the chat. Debbie says, a few years ago when I got Dark Mansion, there's one card from this deck, Hermit. I bet. Yes. Yeah, they did publicize it with this one. Yeah. I'm not here to sell the deck, but I think this is just beautiful. I can't wait to actually do some readings with it. Oh, look at the 10 of Wands. That just is Yule to me, and the winter solstice trudging through the snow there. It reminds me of some illustrations I probably had as a child in a book, and I can't think of what they are, but just stunning. Just see who else is here. Beth says, I wonder how this would read. Yeah, I think it would read quite. Do you know, it would also read, I got a feeling it would read quite well with Druidcraft. I don't know why, but it's got that. Or even Wildwood would be brilliant with this. Absolutely. There's lots of kind of green woodland dryady spirity things here. So, oh, 4 of coins. 5. I am going to go through most of the deck, aren't I? I'm not going to make any apologies for it. 9 of coins is woman with a bird, but this time this lovely, lovely lady with a swan. And I love that. And even the 10 of coins, which is normally a card that makes me feel a little bit nauseous. I actually really like this one. I like the fact that I got this beautiful coloured house with all the carving, and actually they look quite happy as a family. That's my issue with the original 10 of coins. They look like they've had a row. Even in the Druidcraft tarot, they look like they've all had a row, and the old man in it's really pissed off, but not in this one. Right. Let's just do a few more court cards and we're at the end. So, page. Colours are stunning. And our queen. And finally, our king. Look at him. He's like in what's it? Christmas Carol, isn't it? The character that has the big crown, the Ghost of Christmas present. Reminds me of that. So that is the Slavic legends. They do it in 2 sizes. This is the smaller one. This is, oh God, I'm going to have to get my eyes tested. I'm having real trouble reading tiny print now. I can't even read it in this light. Let's get, let's do a comparison. Let's do it that way. So there's our standard, and it's just a little bit bigger, actually, a little bit wider than our standard low Scarabeo kind of size. There. Kathy said, what a stunning deck. Oh, they are rich. I can see why you love it. So, yeah, I can't wait to use this. I'm not a person that tends to use lots of cards for different periods, or different sort of parts of the year. For winter, I have my Druidcraft, which I've frosted up, I call it, where I've put dark blue around the edges and then kind of got glittery crystal. I'm not selling it very well. I should have got it out, but I'll be using it in next week. But yeah, it's got like frosty edging to it all. So I have my winter Druidcraft. I have got a version of the Rider-Waite with candy canes and berries and things like that. But to be honest with you, I'm so busy this time of year that I actually probably don't use tarot all that much as I have done at other times of the year. So I don't kind of buy lots of themed tarot decks because, I wouldn't use them after Christmas. I know that I would put them away. So I prefer something that's like that's got a bit more whole of the winter, or at least into January, February, perhaps before the start of Imbolc, and then remove them that way. So I would rather buy a deck like that, like the Druidcraft, that has a bit more longevity in it than just up to Christmas, up to the 25th of December. But yeah, it's a stunning deck, and I'm so pleased I finally got. I've been waiting for it for probably about 4 years, that deck, since I first saw it. And I just knew that it would eventually come my way, but when the time was right there. Hello to anyone who's joined us. Thank you so much. Let's just have a little look. Oh, Beth, that's very kind of you to say. Absolutely, it's the hardest decision, but the most loving decision at the same time. Yes, Russian art, the snow. Yes, it's got all of those ones there as well. So, yeah. Hi, Trisha. Good to see you here. I don't know if I said hello to you, but I'll say hello again to you. I hope you're well. I'm loving the Snow White profile picture there. Love it. Yeah, so that was that. And this next bit ties in with why I didn't do a live last week, because I went away. And I went away for a long weekend. with Peter, I managed to have Monday off work. It was a well-being day. We have occasionally in December, and rather than just sort of wasting the day away, particularly as we didn't know this at the time, but obviously losing Basil, I thought I don't want to stay at home for it. I need to do something. I need to just do something and use the time rather than just sitting at home and cleaning or doing the usual mundane stuff. So we decided that we were going to go away for 3 nights or 2 nights, 3 days. Now in the UK, well, where I live, we're about an hour from Gatwick, so most flights, long haul, short haul, will go from Gatwick. And I think Gatwick, I can't remember, it's got how many terminals. There's a north and south terminal. I think you could probably get to most parts of the world from Gatwick Airport in some way or another. And Europe is just a couple of hours away. So we thought, what are we going to do? And I thought, I want to do something Christmassy. I want to go to a Christmas market. And I narrowed it down. I want to go to an Austrian Christmas market. And actually, the Christmas market that I really wanted to go to was in Salzburg in Austria. But unfortunately, there wasn't flights to Salzburg. So we went to the next best thing, which was Vienna. So last Saturday morning, Peter and I drove to Gatwick, caught a plane at about 8 o'clock in the morning. Within 2 hours, we were landed in Vienna. It's a time difference, obviously, of an hour. We had a wonderful hotel that was slap bang in the middle of Vienna. And we spent a wonderful 2.5 days, exploring Vienna, which is a city I've never been to. And consequently, talking to a lot of people around here, is a city that not many people seem to have gone to. So we went to several Christmas markets. We went to the beautiful new museum that they've got there, which has got artwork, including some Klimt artwork there as well. Lots of really fascinating bits and pieces. They had, I think it was 6 Christmas markets. There was a butterfly farm that we went to because it was cold and we wanted to warm up. But we spent a lot of the time just wandering around the city. And Vienna, if anyone's ever been to Vienna, I cannot say what a beautiful city it is enough. It is stunning. It looks like it's all out of a Mozart opera. It's all big, Baroque and Baroque and, what's the special term? I can't think of it. Anyway, big buildings, lots of statues, lots of gold, lots of columns. And you simply just walk a big boulevard, big green spaces. They've got trams. They've got a fantastic network of underground systems. It's easy to walk around. And we just had the best time drinking mulled wine, eating apple strudel, buying Christmas decorations, eating more stuff, Wiener Schnitzel. We had some Hungarian food one night. And it was just lovely to spend 3 days or 2.5 days, I suppose, doing something very different. And it put us in a really lovely Christmassy mood. So that's why I wasn't around last weekend, because we were giving it some of Vienna. We were experiencing a bit of Vienna there. So that's why I wasn't here last week. So I'm not apologizing for that, because it was a wonderful, wonderful time. Yeah. It is awesome. Yeah. Beth, I'll answer that question now. Yeah, that's the smaller one. There is a larger one, which is, I've got the larger dark mansion, which I think the cards are just probably about a couple of centimeters bigger. Check it out if you're going to buy it. There's a smaller, that's the smaller version, but it's beautiful. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Sandra, for putting that on there. Absolutely, Jim. It was amazing, and it kind of helped us obviously getting over with Basil as well, just coming away and just kind of having it something else to look forward to was nice. Yeah, that's lovely. Got away for a while. Yeah. It's not an expensive city, I have to be honest. It's comparable to like Barcelona or London or Paris, that kind of prices there. The weekend getaway trips from the UK are so much more fancier. Yeah, there's a lot more, sort of 2 hours to Vienna and back again. And the great thing is, of course, is that Monday we got the train into the airport. I think we had to be there for 4:30 in the afternoon. Um, so 4:30 in Vienna, bearing in mind there's an hour change. By 6:30 UK time, so about 3.5 hours later, I was back in London, and by 9 o'clock I was home and gone to bed and got up to go to work the next day. So you really can't fault it, can you, Deanne? You really can't. It was amazing just to have that, and it all clicked together really, really well. Yeah, absolutely. um, that's the good thing about the UK. Absolutely. Everything is close to visit. Yeah. We went on Wizz Air. Now, some people may know what Wizz Air is. A very low budget airline. I say low budget. It's not cheap because it's one of those air companies that you go, oh, that's cheap. And then they go, oh, we're going to charge you for using the toilet, and we're going to charge you £5.60 for a cup of tea, and we're going to charge you £100 for putting a case in the coat in the under the aircraft, and we're going to charge you 60 quid for putting it in the locker above. And it's like, oh my God, we're going to charge you for actually having to pick a seat. Well, what if you just give me a seat? Well, we charge you for that as well. So it's one of those where the costs just mount up and mount up and mount up. But it worked all right. It got us there safely. It got us back safely, more or less on time. So yeah, all those things. And it's certainly something I would do again. Our lovely ancestors on maternal side were from a very small town outside Vienna. I've been to Europe, but never there. Well, I hope one day you do get the chance to go, because it was beautiful and the weather was cold. It didn't snow. I kind of wish it had snowed. It was about 2 degrees, but it was a crisp cold. Where we live here on the south coast of the UK, it gets cold, but it's a damp cold. It's a kind of cold that anyone that suffers from arthritis or rheumatism just dreads. Okay. Because there's so much water in the air. But when you go to somewhere like Germany or Austria or Switzerland, all those countries, the air's so much more drier, and so the cold is much more bearable because you can hang out there. And I mean, we were walking around for probably about an hour at one point, and after a while, your nose was getting a bit cold, but with enough layers, it was absolutely perfect weather. And that's the beautiful buildings. I just can't get over it. And the lights, all the different streets had different lights, and there were 6 or 7 lovely markets which all had the lovely food and specially made stuff, and oh, wonderful. And one of the most exciting things, we just wandered around, didn't have any major plans, because wherever you turn in Vienna, it's all just stunning. And we went up one of these little streets, and it opened up, and there was the Spanish riding school. And I don't know if you know the Spanish riding school, but that's where they train the Lipizzaner horses that do all the dancing. And I mean, this place was incredible. I mean, it was better than Buckingham Palace. The facade of it had statues of Hercules and massive windows and chandeliers. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's absolutely extraordinary. So do, if you ever get the chance, go. Do. We have been looking at a European tour for next year. Vienna is on the itinerary. Debbie, I wish you all the best with that one. I would say a couple of days in Vienna, 2 or 3 days is absolutely fine, and then move on to somewhere else, because there's lots of lovely things to see. They've got the usual hop on, hop off buses. You can get on a coach that's pulled around by 2 horses if you want to do that. It's a very easy city, very flat city to walk around. So yeah, 2 or 3 days would be absolutely lovely. And then go to Salzburg, because Salzburg is also incredible. Hello, Vicky. Good morning to you. I hope you are well. Lovely to see you here. And Jane is here. Hi, Jane. Good to see you here. And hello, anyone else that's watching, not commenting. Very welcome here. So we're just having a catch up really today. Jane says hello to everyone in chat. Everyone said Beth. Trisha says, I think it's a trip you both definitely need. Trisha, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. When we came back, we were energized. And we just had the most incredible hotel that was slap bang in the middle of Vienna. And it wasn't kind of like swanky as in, it was just everything worked purposely. So we walked in, it was a huge bed. It was like 2 double beds put together. And of course, what the Europeans do, which so well, is they give you an individual duvet. So even though you're in a queen size, or actually probably bigger than that, I don't know what's bigger than a super queen size, I don't know, but this bed was certainly it. But then you had your own duvet. So no one was having to fight over the duvet. You know what I mean by that? Absolutely perfect. The room, we had fantastic bathroom with a shower that was just instant hot water, the luxury, a walk-in wardrobe. And then you pulled open a panel and there was a kitchen with like a hob and a dishwasher and a fridge in this hotel room. I was like, wow, I could cook here if I wanted to, but there's too many nice food to eat outside, so I didn't. But yeah, just incredible, absolutely. And the best breakfast. I love me a continental breakfast. And I just love the idea that I can just graze my way through several courses of hot, cold cheese, ham, cereal, fruit, breads, different breads. And then, of course, you can have all the cakes. And that was just joyous, absolutely joyous, because Vienna, Austria is really known for its wonderful cakes and pastries. So, yeah. Ooh, Vienna. I love it. Kathy, I've been in the springtime a few years ago. I imagine it'd be more magical around Christmas. I think it's magical any time of the year, but yeah, it was certainly just the lights were incredible. Even the larger airlines like United do that too. I mean, charging for overhead unless you pay more for your car. I know, it's ridiculous. Well, Peter and I have got these 2 kind of rucksacks that have got other handles on, so you can wear them over, but they're kind of rectangular cuboid, if you know what I mean. So they actually fit under the seat, which is basically what you can do. If you can fit it under, you can shove it under the seat, you kind of get away with it. But Wizz Air, you see, particularly, they're very canny and say, oh no, your bag has to be this. And we were a bit worried because our bags were kind of like 5 centimeters too big. And thought, oh, the way they're going, they're going to charge us about 36 quid each for that. But they didn't in the end. So we actually took very little clothing because you just need layers. And we had loads of T-shirts and obviously changes of underwear and stuff. But we just kept the same pair of jeans on. We're only there for, sleeping for 2 nights there. So we packed really, really lightly, and managed to get loads of stuff back in our bags coming back as well. Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. You have got to have separate duvet, absolutely. Well, it's always the thing, isn't it? When one person's too hot, or one person hogs it, or one person needs to have it taken off, or see you got a cat jumping on it, just. Absolutely. I'm all for individual duvets. That's good. I think that might be the way forward. Having said that, I've just bought the most beautiful new king size duvet cover. So I'm probably not going to go to single duvets just yet, but perhaps there's something to think about in the next few years. Can't believe some of the stuff we talk about on here. Right. So should we have a look at another tarot deck? Should we do that? Now, this is a Sandra Made Me Do It deck, all right? And I should not have listened to Sandra. Can I just put that? Sandra, I love you very much, okay? But not this time. The Druidic Tarot, okay? Sandra went, oh, Druidic Tarot, you need to look at this. So I looked at it, and I fell in love with it. And I ordered it. And then I got terribly disappointed when it turned up. So we're not going to dwell on this for too much, okay? It is Lo Scarabeo. This is going to upset some people, I do warn you, okay? Firstly, do you know what? I'm not even going to call it cardstock. I'm going to call it paper stock. Look how flimsy that is. That My credit card has got more oomph in it than this, I tell you. It's just absolute rubbish. If I was using this deck on a regular reads for, say I was reading once or twice a day, I reckon within 3 months, this deck would be knackered. I have never seen, it reminds me of the cigarette papers when I used to smoke. It's that rubbish, all right? I'm saying it. There we go. It's out there. So that was my first disappointment. I mean, compare that to that Slavic tarot, which is gorgeous. That is quite frankly an abomination to anything paper orientated. I feel sorry for the trees that were sacrificed to make that, because it does not honor them in any way, shape, or form. I've said it now, I'm going to leave it there. So that was my first disappointment. The second disappointment, well, actually, I knew, speaking to Sandra, we had this conversation. We weren't sure if it was AI or not. I had a sneaking suspicion it was. Now, I don't want to get into the big AI discussion right now, because that is going to be coming in the new year. I'm going to do a whole live or video about that one. Okay. I completely sit on the fence when it comes to AI. All right. I don't actually like the art that much. That's why I don't tend to go near the decks. I don't actually like the style of it. Having said that, when I saw the artwork to this, I thought, oh, that looks good. And actually, I don't know if it's AI or not, or just computer drawn. It's like 15 people have been putting this deck together using, oh, I don't know, a Commodore 64 or a Spectrum XZ or ZX Spectrum. It's just shoddy. I'm sorry if anyone really likes this deck, okay? And I'm not even sure if it is AI, because the printing of it is pretty awful. I mean, I made sure this was a legitimate copy, because I actually thought it looks a bit like a fake copy. But that is our Knight of Cups. And as somebody who is studying to be a druid, halfway through the druid course, okay, I thought this would really be the thing that would rock my world. This is the full. So compare that, okay, which actually is not bad, to this. This is our magician. I think that's AI. I might be wrong. It doesn't say on the box what it is. But if that's a magician, and that should be summoning up energies and being a bit like a conductor from above, I have never seen a more passive looking magician. He looks like he doesn't know what he's doing with those tools. Sorry, I'm being really bitchy, aren't I? Apologies. Some of the cards just feel like I've seen them before. This reminds me of the High Priestess from the Druidcraft. We've got the, I mean, some of them are absolutely lovely. And then what some of them are completely white, like the light in it's all wrong. I'm going to show you an example of one that I'm just, this one, the lovers, it's kind of, they're almost wiped out. They look like they're so pale because of the light. It's like the contrast is wrong in the artwork. Let me show you. Oh, look, this one, the Hermit. And this isn't the camera doing anything. It's just a big white blob down the left-hand side of his face. And it's not even white light. It's like he's got fire, so I don't know. There's some really lovely ideas in it. That's our Wheel of the Year. So it's got different, the 4 fire festivals there. There's some interesting ones. This is Justice. The Hanged Man, interesting idea. We've got a reflection of what looks like the Hermit in here. But again, you could confuse that with the Moon card, couldn't you? Death. It is a bit glossy as well, which is where you get. But can you see it's just... And then you've got this one, which is the Devil. But again, it's... In fact, the camera does a better job of kind of white balancing it than in real life. Anyway, I'm not going to put us through this much, because I don't want to. Complete disappointment. Cardstock. I can't even give it 0. Can I give it negative points? I'm going to do that. All right. The good thing is it wouldn't cost much to post because it's so light on anything. I'm going to stop on being a complete bitch now about this deck. I'm going to put it aside, making me cross. Come on, let's see what we're going to say about it. Yeah. Right, let's get back to that. If we lived in the same world, we would be able to bring on items according to our needs. The business person of it. Oh, gosh, yes. I love that idea. But that's not how you make money, though, is it? That's not how it works. I didn't realise it was an AI. No, so I know we kind of couldn't quite decide. And I was like, I don't think it's an AI. I'm still not convinced, to be honest with you, Sandra, because I'd like to think AI has, if AI has been used in it, it would be better than that. And I'm really surprised that Lo Scarabeo produced stuff like that, to be brutally honest. If that's the best that they can do right now, I'm not going to bother. Yeah. Junky. Or shocking, as some would say. Now I have rubbish. Oh, I'm glad I put it in there. I love it. I need to have that on a t-shirt. It almost, do you know what? I almost thought it was, but it did. You know, it's got its barcode on the back and it comes with a book. It's all legit. It's definitely an AI deck. Yeah, I know. And what makes me cross is that what makes me cross, actually, like I said, I'm still undecided about AI decks. Again, that's coming later. But actually show me some more of the cards and actually be a bit more honest about, you know, they showed me the 3 or 4 really good ones. And I was like, oh, this is going to be really good. That's, you know, and then, you know, 74 other cards are absolute. Can I return it? This is a quality issue. Now, that's the point. I might return it with torn up. I can have it back. This is shit. Take it back. Oh, sorry, everyone. You can see I'm feeling quite passionate about this. What deck was it? It's the Druidic Tarot. Come on. Loads of people would buy this with a title like that, wouldn't it? You know, it's the kind of thing, you know, yeah. We all love, well, most of us love the Druidcraft Tarot. It's the next, you think it'd be the next thing, wouldn't you? And it should fit together with all those other lovely decks and Oracle decks that are crying out to be partnered up with it. And quite frankly, I don't want to partner that. I don't even want to touch it, to be brutally honest. Isn't it? There you go. I'm glad I'm making someone chuckle. Right, Trisha says Lo Scarabeo attracts if that's the sort of quality crap. Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a use for it because I can tell you something. Predicting the future is not one of them. Well, I can predict that this is going to probably be chucked away. I don't even want to pass it on to somebody. And I'm really upset with also because what was that? It wasn't them, was it? Oh, I'm trying to think. There was a Druid or pagan Lenormand deck produced that I fell down that rabbit hole, which again was awful. And I don't even have it in my heart to sell it on eBay because it is so truly awful and so offensive, as I have to say, to anybody in the pagan Druid order, that I couldn't write anything nice about it in the eBay statement. You know, I would simply, I don't even want to take it to a charity shop or give it away. It's awful. Sorry. This is shit. I might just do that. I might just write it on every single card that this is shit. This is shit. Just send it back to it. I demand a refund. So, please, if you're putting a tarot deck on your Christmas wish list, please look at a walkthrough of this. I can't do a walkthrough of this one. Well, it would quite be funny, I suppose. It would, but yeah, be really careful if you want to get that one. It's not a Richie recommendation. Right. I have got one more deck to show, but we're going to do the final bit of the story. And this, I suppose, we've gone from sadness to a lovely weekend. This is pure joy, people. This is wonderful. And some of you may already know my deepest secret that I've been keeping for everyone from a few months, because I did let it slip on a live I did with Orshi a few weeks ago. But it is now time for me to confess something to you, because I have a new hobby. And I haven't said anything to anyone for a little while, since September, actually, because I wasn't sure whether I was going to continue it. Okay. So it is now time to come out of the cupboard once again, the closet, and tell the world that for the last 3 months, since the beginning of September, my new hobby. Hang on a moment. I'm going to do a costume change. Bear with. I'm going to turn the camera off for a second. Ta-da! I am a Morris dancer. I am a border Morris dancer. I am a member of Anne Derrida Border Morris. This is my hat. This is my stick. I have been learning border Morris dancing for nearly 4 months, 3 months. And tomorrow, fingers crossed, weather permitting, I'm doing my first official dance in public. And I'm very excited and also incredibly nervous at the same time. Actually, I should have done this. There we go. Yes. Oh, Debbie knew the secret. She heard it. I know. Look at all. I know. I can't keep a secret. So this is my hat. This is my T-shirt. This is my beautiful stick that a lovely friend of mine made for me. I'm having me smashed up several sticks because I'm quite heavy-handed when I'm beating sticks and dancing with other people. And I am so excited to be part of this. So for people that don't know, Morris dancing, I suppose, is the traditional in British, I'm going to call it British, kind of traditional dancing. But I know it's done all around the rest of the world. I'm going to turn this off because it's flaring a little bit. Let's turn that off. And it's something that I've always really wanted to do. And I'm so pleased to be doing it. So Border Morris is the sticks, the bashing of the sticks and doing dancing with that. It's not the hankies, although we do have bells. I've got lots of bells. And I'm going to show you my other tatter costume in a moment. It's going to be face painted up. It's going to have, I say, lights on in the hat, big boots, and my first dance. We've been learning 4 dances, and tomorrow, as I say, hopefully is the day that I dance for the public for the first time. Showtime, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Jen. How exciting. It has, oh my good, it has brought me the biggest joy. I don't know, there are members of Andera de Bordeaux that subscribe to this channel, so they might be watching it. They might be watching it now, but I'm going to just say I'm so excited, and thank you everyone for all your wonderful friendship and support during this, because I have had the best few months. I have met lots of wonderful people, which is absolutely the biggest thing about it. It has been great to try and get some exercise in. We rehearse for 2 hours every week. At the moment, we're just rehearsing because there isn't that much dancing that goes on during the winter. In the summer, it's the busiest times. It's been absolutely great to meet new people, to just have chats and have a laugh. It's really good physical workout. My knee that I had arthritis in is much more has much more movement in it. I am so much better mentally for it because it's a right mental workout. It's really mindful. It's learning all those new steps. We've had loads of people join at the same time, so we've had lots of people learning it as we go. And I have enjoyed every second of it, and long may it continue, let me point out, because I have absolutely found a new hobby which I adore, and I'm so excited. Oh, look at Deanne. Thank you. You guys are absolutely lovely. Will you get Peter? So, yes, well, actually, you could join the Andera de Bordeaux Morris Facebook group. If you go onto my Longman Tarot Facebook group, we're all on there, so you'll get to see the group. I don't feature in any of the videos just yet because we haven't done much dancing, but there will be many more videos being put up. So do give them a like. Go and subscribe to Andera de Bordeaux Morris. I don't know if anyone feels like putting a link into the chat. Please feel free to do that if you'd like that. That's lovely. Yeah, but there will be, I'm sure, certainly be loads of photos tomorrow if the weather doesn't blow us away. That is. We're doing 4 dances just outside where I live here, and it's absolutely so much fun. And it's one of those things where you can just take anything that's happened. If you've had a bad day or bad week, or everything that's been happening in the last week or so, you just go for 2 hours, focus on doing it, keep practicing, keep rehearsing in a really lovely, fun way that is just joyful. I come back just absolutely aching with laughter and aching with limbs. As I said, all the people have been wonderful. They've been really kind in sharing their expertise and their knowledge. And I'm really, really excited to be dancing some of the traditional dances, plus learning some new ones in the new year. So the first one's tomorrow. Then there's a bit of a break over Christmas, and our first official one, where we've had most people there, is going to be at the end of January for a wassail at a big priory. And there's going to be several Morris dancing groups from around here. And I'm just really excited because it's getting me out to all those lovely events. So Hastings, there's in May, there's a Jack in the Green festival, which we are going to go and be dancing with other groups there. There is a Lammas festival that has been restarted up after many years of it not being in Eastbourne. That's starting up, and we're going to be hosting in August that one. So there's going to be loads of photos. There's lots of events coming up, lots of sort of different bits and pieces throughout the year. So I'm just so excited, and I'm so happy. And it's really bizarre how it happened, because when I was in Poland back in the summer, I was showing some of my relatives in Poland sort of what Morris dancing. They were talking about what what kind of traditional English dances there are. And I couldn't really think of any. And I suppose I went Morris dancing, and I happened to get my phone. Oh, look, this is Morris dancing. And it happened to just flash up this group, which I didn't know anything about. And then I saw some videos and I thought, oh, and then when I got back from Poland, they put an advert up saying, we're just finishing our season. If anybody would like to come along and learn and want to come try out to see whether they want to do it, we're going to be at this place at this time. Everyone welcome, come along. And like I said, I've always wanted to do it for many, many, many years, and I've just never plucked up the courage to do it. And this time I just went, yep, this is what I wanted to do. So I went along and just had the best of times. At least it's fun exercise, yes. I've only had one injury as well. One injury in rehearsal, but that was quite scary when I hit myself in the head with my stick. Fortunately, I didn't get a bruise out of it. So you may have noticed our colours. This is, I'm not going to stand up and put this one on. These are the tatters that we wear over our t-shirt. And you can see we've got bells on it. So it's kind of turquoise, blues, with a little bit of yellow representing the sea and the beaches, but most of it's black on there. So that's what I'm going to be wearing. Spent a good few weeks getting that all together and making that one there. So look out for videos on that one, and fingers crossed it all goes well tomorrow. But I'm pleased to be able to tell people now that that is what I'm doing. So there may be times where I haven't done quite as many lives or been on other people's lives because I've been rehearsing for it. So now that I've told the world, I'm going to be putting loads of posters up and lots of pictures. Ellie says, I just love it. I know, you know, a Morris dancer. It's quite big. It seems to have a bit of a resurgence coming back. So that's really, really, it's just good fun. And it's just good fun just doing, you know, dances that look very complex, but when you start to break them down, actually look quite easy. But it's just great dancing with a group, and there's no pressure about, you know, being the best dancer and everything like that. If you know, it's about the fun, it's about the camaraderie, it's about the performance. And once again, I just want to say, if anybody from Andera de Border is watching, big thank you. And I know a lot of us new people are very excited as well. Oh, thank you, Sandra. I'm going to take my hat off now. Yes, this is my hat. So you can see it's very sweaty. We've been making these. So it's got some acorns on the back there. And as you can see, it's got lights in it as well. There's a little badge that I picked up in Vienna with a snowflake on it. And I've also got a bowler hat, which I'm going to wear in the summer. So it's going to be the top hat in the winter and the bowler hat in the summer. There we go. So that's my secret. And now you know. So do go and join the Facebook group Andera de Border, Morris. And I'll be posting some links on it. Don't forget to dance tomorrow. Does anyone else kind of do dancing or do any kind of hobby? I know, Deanne, you were a great dancer, still are. But I don't want to know if anyone else has done things like that at all. Ellie says that she knows a Morris dancer. It's nice having a new hobby. Peter thinks I'm a little bit mad, but we know that anyway. Right, let's finish my tea. Tricia says, I could see myself constantly whacking myself with the stick. Well, yeah, it was a kind of accident. It was a glancing blow that got me. Quite fortunate. I don't know. It was quite a knock, but everyone was very kind and gave me a big packet of peas, frozen peas to put on there. So the swelling went. Didn't have any swelling there at all. So yeah. Right. how are we doing? Right, and 10 minutes. One more deck to show you. This one's got a little bit of nudity in it, so if you're easily offended, if you're easily offended, what I don't know, probably been offended a bit earlier on in the channel with all the swearing, but never mind. This is a Kickstarter deck. I seem to have a lot of Kickstarters coming in at the moment, which is great. And this is the Sirena Tarot, which has been produced. It came with a rather gorgeous. Now, this looks kind of orange, but it's more lobster because it's a deck that involves mermaids, hence the nudity that could be coming up in there. But it came with this rather gorgeous, try and get it lined up, reading cloth. It does need an iron, I know. It also smells quite pungent of chemicals. As I found out on the first night when I left it by on the side of my bed, and then woke up in the middle of the night, almost hallucinating on the chemicals that are involved in this. But it has actually smelled a bit better since then. Oh, Trisha's copy came today. What do you think of it, Trisha? I'm loving it from what I see. I haven't used it yet. So let's have a little look at this one. So now I would say that this deck comes, I quite like a mermaid deck. I don't know why I like a mermaid. I think it's because I live near the sea. So therefore I'm drawn to the sea and I'm drawn to the myths and the legends of the sea. That's probably why I like my tatters, which are turquoise blue and yellow sand. It doesn't have a fishy smell, does it? Oh, no. Is it fishy? That's the question. I wouldn't call it fishy. I would call it, it's almost like the chemicals that you use in like felt tip pens, but super strong, slightly toxic ones, if you know what I mean by that. Probably wasn't a very good idea to sniff it like that just now. Anyway, right, Simon. So this again is a kind of, it matches the colours of my wall, and it isn't, it's a kind of lobstery pink, if I'm going to say that one there. Beautiful. The backs are non-reversible. So I have the Mermaid Tarot. Don't particularly like it all that much. I also have the Wisdom of the Depths deck, which was a Kickstarter, and I've used several times on lots of readings, which is kind of Victorian and nautical boats and sea mermaids and silly sailors and pirates and things like that. Just good fun. And I would say that this deck fits between the two of them, if you know what I'm talking about. So there is nudity because we seem to have, well, we've got mermaids, so obviously there's nudity, but just to balance it, we've got a lot of naked men that seem to be in the sea. So just forewarn yourself, if you are offended, turn off now. But what an interesting full card. This is somebody who is entering the sea, lots of fish around, but they're entering it naked. So it's that birth that's going on there with that. And then that's kind of theme that goes all the way through it. So I, again, won't show you all the cards because I'm going to probably do a walkthrough, but I'm absolutely loving the color palette. I'm loving the style that it comes in. High Priestess, bit moody, a bit colorful. Peter's just come home. This is why Sybil has now decided to go and say hello. It might be time to be fed. The Empress. Oh yes, sometimes there's two versions. So this is one Emperor card, which is almost, I thought it was the Lovers when I first looked at it, but this is one of the Emperor cards, which is quite unusual. We have a male and a female entwined, and one is carrying the victory wreath there, and the other Emperor card is a bit more traditional. So I'm loving the fact that there's some choices over some of these. And the Hierophant, again, very unusual Hierophant. This time he's somebody from the shore. He has a halo around him. It's almost like he's baptizing, and the mermaid is trying to drag this other character back into the sea. So you can see what I mean about the nudity there. But isn't that a fascinating take on the Hierophant? The Lovers, again, quite interesting. We have, it's almost like a follow-on from this. We have an angel supporting somebody who's, again, kissing somebody under a mermaid under the sea. Loving it. The Chariot. This could have been really kitschy, and I'm really pleased that it isn't. It's just really interesting images. I like that the Hermit's got a lighthouse in there, so you got that sense of that being alone in that tower. Tricia says, I really love the colours. They've sunbathed. Yes, it's very much, yes, I get that. It's very much the colours of being outdoors at certain sunsets and things like that. You're absolutely right. There's 2 death cards. So this mermaid has a skull and is playing a violin with a ship sinking in the background. And there's more, I suppose, a more traditional death riding a horse. I was really pleased with this because I didn't have a look at all the cards on the Kickstarter because I'm like that. I'm terribly bad at looking at all the cards. As you probably realise during the Druid Tarot rant. Devil. I'm just gonna do the mages and then pick some of the other cards to do. But I'm liking the fact that they've got pairs or partners of people on here. So with the star card, you've almost got like kind of the mermaids obviously living in the sea, and the men kind of either as mariners or land dwellers, and the 2 of them coming together. It's like 2 worlds meeting. Court cards really do get a little bit naughty, not explicitly naughty, but there seems to be a story. I haven't read the book because you know me. Seems to be a bit of a story almost following through with the suits. This is, however, a summer deck. So I have a winter deck and I have a summer deck. I'm not sure how YouTube will cope with some of this nudity. I was watching somebody the other day who is a phenomenal tarot reader and churns out a lot of content and is phenomenal. But they had covered up all the nudity on their standard RWS. So the lovers were all dressed because they'd had complaints. And the baby on the horse had to have something on it. And the world. I'm like, what madness is this? What madness is this? Anyway, our page. I preferred this to the Mermaid Tarot. I've just decided. I've made it official. I'm going to miss out a few if you don't mind, because I want to do a full walkthrough of this one, but we'll do some coins. Now the 9, of course, she hasn't got she's got a male companion rather than a feathery bird. That family look like they're all together a bit more. We were talking about the 10 of Pentacles earlier on, weren't we? Kathy says, the dichotomy between the quality of this deck and the shitty Druidic Tarot. I really like this. I love it, Kathy. That's brilliant. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Look, I know. I'm sure there's somebody out there that loves the Druidic Tarot. Must be someone somewhere. The artists, probably. Interesting Ace of Swords. This person's kind of got arrows shooting out their eyes. Skip a few. Oh, 3 of Swords. 3 mermaids with swords slicing up people. How cool is that? I like their hairstyles. And 5 swords. Our mermaid is tied and been stuck. And this person's kind of almost like enjoying the torture that's going on with it, all keeping watch over it. It's really quite bizarre. 7 of Swords is really unusual as well. We have a mermaid who seems to have like these sword spikes coming out of her. Oh. No. Is it the one about the misspelling of the 8? Is it the 8 of Swords that's misspelled? Yes. Literally, I've just come to it. Yeah. I know. Yeah. So, unfortunately, missed out is the spelling of the 8 of Swords. Do you know what? If the creator hadn't made, I wouldn't have noticed the difference. I really wouldn't have noticed it. And I actually quite like it like that. And I know they were quite upset about it, and they did send a message to everyone after the decks had been sent out. So really sorry to notice there's an error with the spelling of the 8 on that one there, but it makes it unique, and I like that tone on that one. It's like, I can't do much about it, but you've got a unique deck. So there we go. Okay, let's miss out a few. Ooh, a King of Swords looks a bit dangerous. Where are we? On to the Wands suit. 4 of Spades, they're called here. It's quite nice. It's almost like the mermaids are. There's a wedding going on, and the man is being escorted to some ceremony. Seven of Staves. Ooh, it's a kind of snaky, kind of Medusa-y, Hydra-y, scary thing going on there. But the 8 of Wands is spelled correctly. They're quite, some of the images in there are quite, the 8 of Wands is normally a nice card about speed and communication, things picking up, and the energies flying around. That this feels like, I don't know, it's almost like the 9 of Swords in many ways. Loving it. I'm really excited to be using this one. Trisha said, I honestly didn't notice it until it was mentioned. I know. It's kind of them to say so, and I appreciate that. But I wonder how many other people would have noticed it. And whenever you proofread something like that, your mind switches off after doing a few. So I really have no issue with it. And I'm pleased. Where was it? I had a deck where they'd mixed up the High Priestess and the Empress, and they sent stickers to put over the cards, so to change the title. So that made it worse, because actually you've got a fine sticker that's now sticking out, raised above the surface of the others. And to be honest with you, again, the illustrations were so unusual that it wouldn't have mattered if it was, well, you could have interpreted them as either. That's our last one. That's our King of Staves. Beautiful, beautiful deck. And Trisha, I do hope that you get to use it, and it looks like you love it already. And I'm wondering if anyone else watching this at some point has got this deck. Let me know. Pop your comments below. Sorry, I have to put it back in its box. I'm a bit funny about that. I can't just leave them all out and carry on talking to you. I don't know if other people do that, or is it just me? I've also got this thing as well. I have to say, this is a little backstage secret. Whenever I do a reading, like with Gerald or anything, and we do like live readings and stuff, I have to have this routine where I have to pack all the cards up and have them all in their boxes before the live finishes. It's really bizarre. I have to do it. Wonder what that's all about. Right, that is the end of today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for all your wonderful thoughts and all the support you've given Peter and I, like I said. Do look out for photos of me and the Anderida Border Morris group that will be flooding Longman Tarot Facebook. I won't post any of the videos up because they've got other people in there, and I don't think it's fair to video other people and put it on YouTube without expressly asking their thoughts about it. Oh, do you know what? I thought you might like this one, actually. I thought you might too. So coming up next week, next Friday, Gerald, we're on Gerald's channel at this time, 6:30 actually, UK time, with Ali. We are doing rock, paper, scissors reading, but careful, folks, caffeinated and unfiltered one. So you know what that means. Tread wisely, my friends. Be careful what you wish for. And then the following week, we are, what have I got coming up? Must be time for Longstash Yule, because it must be coming out. And then it's going to be Christmas. And there's lots of nice things coming up over Christmas. I've managed to get some time to do some lives with people and some new people as well. So do look out for that one there. But I do hope catching it all before that. But if for any reason we don't, I really hope you have a wonderful Christmas or Yule or celebration, however you choose to do it. If I don't have a chance to speak to you, the Christmas decorations will be going up hopefully this weekend. There will be a switch on. It might be next Friday. You know, we like to have an official turn on. So do look out for those ones there. But I'm going to say good night to everyone, and thank you so much again for all your lovely thoughts and support in this one. And see you again really, really soon. So take care. Bye.